Every now and then I come across one of the greatest stats of all time for Barry Bonds, and there's every day you just come across one of these. Here's one that he had in 2004. I know this is offbeat a little bit here, but this just shows you how great this guy was. In 2004, he had 373 at bats. He reached base safely 376 times. He was on base every time he came to the plate. This guy's a freakazoid, man. God, please bring steroids back to baseball so you can make it interesting again. Thank you. Please bring them back. Gives a shit about anything else. I care about being entertained. Since when do owners or teams care about players' health? Give me a break. Please bring steroids back to the game. Oh my God. Oh, and one more like real quick note on baseball. I know we kind of don't care because it's almost an irrelevant sport unless it's a local deal. In Philly, it's a local deal. But David Freese doesn't want to be in the Cardinal Hall of Fame because of some lame-ass reason. Fans voted him. And, I wanted, doesn't think I deserve to take it. Shut up. Are you kidding me? The hell? What a wacko. You're a wacko. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I really love the Cardinal fans, and it's really I pontificated on. I'm like, dude, you're right. You don't belong in the Hall of Fame because you're a weirdo. You're just a weirdo. I don't want to be in the Cardinal Hall of Fame. Jesus criminy, man. All right. Before I get into my Eagles, the most underrated Eagles here, please hit the like button here. DeAndre Hopkins just came out with a comment. I wonder what you make of this. Whatever wide receiver room is out there, I'll make your life easier. Well, DeAndre Hopkins in the slot for the Eagles. Wow. Hey, I told you he wasn't getting $20 million. Remember some of you idiots were in here telling me, Xander, I had idiots in here telling me that DeAndre Hopkins was going to get a $23 million deal. That ain't happening. On June 20th, you ain't getting that money. Teams already got their caps fixed. Most teams don't have money to spend like that. His money's going to be made in the offseason. Okay? His money's not made in the offseason. Where it's going to be made in the offseason. Drop him down in that slot there. Put him in there. Or put Devontae in that slot. Put him out wide. Devontae had the whole entire middle of the field open. So the guys that would spread the room out, spread your defense out, would be A.J. Brown, DeAndre Hopkins, and then you'd have Devontae Smith and Dallas Goedert running around the middle of the field. Jalen Hurts would throw for 5,000 yards if he did that. That would beat the Chiefs. I got a couple moves here that will beat the Chiefs. See, I'm a helper here, guys. I'm trying to help you beat the Chiefs. Okay? Hopkins said, I'll help, and I'll make any wide receiver room right now a lot easier. My hands up. My hands up. You think DeAndre Hopkins is going to win ball games in New England? How far do you think he's going in New England? He'll be lucky to make the playoffs. How far do you think he's going with the Titans? You'd be lucky to be 500. You're 30 years old now, guy. You're on the fringe for being considered for a Hall of Fame kind of guy. Win a Super Bowl. Go to Kansas City or go to Philadelphia. go to Buffalo? That's a good fit. It'd be a good fit. The Jets, be a spectacular fit. 49ers, be a really good fit. Ayuk, Hop, Debo, and Kittle. Yeah, that's pretty big. That's pretty big. You're not getting paid. Quan says he's going to. You're not getting paid. The Eagles have $13 million in cap space now. Okay? You know why Howie's got $13 million? Because as training camp starts, he's going to start scouring the rosters like he did for Gardner Johnson, looking for linebackers and safeties. That's going to be a priority. Howie's going to look at safeties and linebackers because, quite frankly, you're inexperienced at safety and your linebackers, I don't even know if you have enough to go to camp. Who are your linebackers? Outside of Nakobe Dean and that stiff you got from Chicago, who you didn't give a cent to in signing bonus money. That just tells you what they think of him. That kid Morrow got not 1 cent. And hey, I know people are like, hey, this kid Morrow might be good. And I'm like, they didn't give him 1 cent on a signing bonus. I don't believe they think a lot of him. That's just big sills. Okay? So Hopkins comes in and gets this would be, if I'm his agent, I'm not saying he's going to sign in Philly. Would I want him? I wouldn't think twice not having him. If I could make that work, there's not enough footballs to go around. Wrong way to look at things. How many times do you hear that from like talk show host? There's just not enough footballs to go around. You look at everything through a dumbass way of looking through it. No. There's not enough players on the opposing team to cover you. That's how you should be looking at it. You would line up against every single football team you played against, and there would not be enough players on the other side of the field to cover all your stars. So if Dallas Goedert got 3 catches, or Devontae got 2, or AJ got 1, it's not important about the volume of catches. It's not being able to single. You couldn't double anyone. Do you know if you have DeAndre Hopkins in your offense, you can't double anyone? Well, he doesn't fit. Well, make it fit. You hear that one too. Well, he just doesn't fit make it fit. Make it fit. It's called being a coach. He's a Patriot. For what reason? Bailey Zappi and Mac Jones? Okay. What, because the coordinator up there? Maybe. Oh, how'd that? So wait a minute. You think he's going to New England because Bill O'Brien, who traded him away to Arizona, you think that's a good relationship? Oh, have you checked with D-Hop on that one? He did visit. So probably it was the McNairs that wanted him out. That's the way I would read that too. It's not O'Brien who wanted him out. It was probably the McNairs, the owners of the team, that wanted him out. And okay? Hey, look at Quan now, man. He's like a fortune teller. Hey, do me a favor, Quan. Why don't you come up with some Powerball numbers next? How you doing? Why don't you come up with some Powerball numbers? This is what big sales will say. Never. Xander knows that. See, the word never gets you guys all going. It's all good. All right. So here's the other move that would help you. I got you too, Quan. Quan, it's all good, brother. See, this is why we work here. Who would have ever thought? Every single person that watches my show now, and everyone at the NovaCare Center does too, because I'm told daily. Hey, I know Nick watches it too. Who would have thought that Big Sills would fit in mostly with the Philly guys? Probably I should have thought this years ago. I should have. There's only really very few cities that have a bunch of a-holes in it that I'm an a-hole too. And I wear that proudly. Okay. Here we go here. I hope the Philadelphia Eagles bring in for a workout Matt Araiza. Man, the kicker you have now, the punter you have now sucks. This guy's a game changer. One play, this guy could change field position, especially when you have a defense right now that you're not quite sure on. I'll make this point to you. Matt Araiza would be more important than Dalvin Cook or D-Hop. Okay? Xander goes, I'd sign him. But listen to my philosophy on why. He'd be more valuable than DeAndre Hopkins and Dalvin Cook. Why? Because if your offense has any kind of 3-and-outs early, you're putting an inexperienced defense in positions to fail. You got a punter that could change the room on you and constantly pin the opposing offenses inside the 20 every single time in case there is a 3-and-out. He's a weapon. I saw this guy punt at San Diego State. I watched him actually live, and I voted for him for the All-American team. And after listening to him and his attorney and talking to his attorney and actually having a small conversation with Matt Araiza myself, because I know the guy, let me say this to you. He's been completely exonerated. He has every right to have an opportunity to jumpstart his career again. You know, and I'll tell you why you're not hearing a lot of things. Where are those piece of shit people when they accused the lacrosse team and the boys team of raping that girl when everyone came forward and lied and ruined lives? Shut the program down. Those guys were defending champions. I never heard anybody apologize to the families or to those boys after they went publicly and castrated those guys and they did nothing wrong. Nope. See, this is the thing in our country right here. When you make these psychotic accusations like against my guy Michael Irvin, who I backed 100% because I know he didn't do anything. There's never been criminal charges against Michael Irvin. The Phoenix cops don't even know what Marriott and the NFL Network are talking about. They set him up. Matt Araiza is exonerated. But people get afraid because he wasn't involved. Social media made him involved. And you know what you would get? The 2% snowflakes that are in Philly going, why would you bring someone like that in? Why wouldn't you? Anything you say, Russia hoax, will be a lie. Hey, let me just come. Dude, I don't know how people could come up. Well, I do know. I'm a victim of it. People just make bullshit up. Because you know why? You see, jackasses like people that are on the internet used to live in their basement, and they used to live in their pajamas and write on their walls in their basements. And they used to just sit in their basements. But now we have social media and you think you're closer to me. I'd be careful, man. Because someday someone's going to jump up and beat your ass. We used to have this thing called space. That's gone. And you could just say whatever you want with no consequences. You can do whatever you want with no consequences. I'm so happy about my boy Craig Carton. He's signing a 7-figure deal with Fox Sports. He's leaving FAM, which is kind of crazy. He was in prison for for embezzlement. Okay? Happy that he did that. I root for him. You know, he's been on numerous times. He's my boy. This kid goes to the U. I help his kid out. I introduced Craig to Coach Cristobal. They had a great time down there. I set them all up. I love the guy. And he goes, Sills, your day's coming. I go, oh, no, I know it is. Be out of this hole soon, too. Absolutely. You know why? Because in the end, most of you are losers that do that shit on the internet. You're losers. You just make shit up. So Matt Araiza should be able to jumpstart his career, too. If Matt Araiza, I have a daughter. If he had done the things that he had done, are you kidding me? I'd want this guy prosecuted to the max. To the max. Nobody should be involved with anything like that. Do you know what the prosecutors told me? He wasn't there. He wasn't there. He's nowhere on any tapes. No one saw him. The prosecutors. This guy's a great player. Would Big Sills let the punt god date his daughter? Yes. 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 Because I make the assessment on people. Others don't. See, it's a great question, Arthur, because at the end of the day, your opinion about another individual has no bearing on how I see you. I don't take what others say about others and make that my opinion. My personal relationship with you and how I see you and how I think of you is between me and you. When you're influenced by others and what they think of you, and that influences other people, you're sheep. You're sheep. Hey, you'll never get another show like this in your life because this is what old broadcasting used to be. People speaking truths and how they feel about people. Don't ever let someone form an opinion of someone else until you meet the guy. Because then you're a loser. It's a you thing. I've never let anybody go, hey, have you met this guy? This guy's an asshole. Oh, I haven't met him yet. That's not my opinion of him. I don't know him. It's why people, like millions and millions of people have never met Donald Trump, but they have an opinion of him. How could you have an opinion of him? You don't know him. Which is what I heard of him. Oh. Okay. Oh. That tells me all I need to know about you. You let others form your opinion for you. Really? Why would you let someone lead your life like that? Social media has led people like that. They put an opinion out there and it becomes gospel. My daughter too, man. You should see it. It's like water and air. I go, why don't you meet the guy before you make an assessment on him? Dad, don't you know who he is? No. Well, read about him. Oh, because why? Everything on Google is true. Come on, man. So Matt Araiza, would I let him date my daughter? Yeah, because I don't believe those charges are true. I might not let Michael Irvin date my daughter because I know who he is. I might not let that happen because I kind of know who Mike is, and that might be a little different of an issue.